Welcome back, everybody, to Fine Music. We are up to Wondrous episode 422. I don't know, it just sounds like a good number to me. And of course, it's even better because our leadoff man, Fred Whitlock, will take us into music today. Go ahead, Fred.
Well, uh, the first band I'm talking about is named Syndicate. They've come back, made a incredible comeback musically for me. The 2020 album that they did, The Universe Inside, kicks off with a 20-minute space rock jazz, and it's just incredible. The saxophone soaring, the guitars are just wailing. It's an instrumental that shows that they're not afraid to really experiment and go further than their sound used to be. There's no song that's shorter than 7.5 minutes. And their sound is just more experimental on this album, and it flows incredibly. It's got saxophone, pedal steel, electric sitar added to the haunting vocals, and it's got a lingering sound that just stays with you. And it's just an album that really grabbed me. And like I said, it starts out with a long 20-minute song, and it's got some other 11-minute songs. It's definitely an adventurous, abstract album from them. Then in 2022, they came out with Ultraviolet Battle Hymns and Other Confessions. And this album partly goes back to a little bit of their older sound. Some critics call this album Velvet Underground meets Crazy Horse, Neil Young's band. They jam sometimes, the guitars drone on. It kicks off with a great song and grabs you right away. The songwriting remains strong within this group, and powerful pops, psychedelic sounds throughout the album. The guitars just go into overdrive on a song called Beyond Control. And there's 10 great songs that really rock out sometimes, and sometimes are dreamy, and they go into different directions, but it all holds together. It sounds like they may be rambling sometimes, but it's ambitious, psychedelic, cool, and has one foot in the past and one foot in the future. And I would suggest, if you want to start back with them, Days of Wine and Roses has a 40-year anniversary edition out, and it's great. You can see their Velvet Underground influences on that album very well. They came out of that whole Paisley Underground sound of the 80s. Then I discovered this group, Wand, who's been around. They have a new album, their 6th album, Vertigo. And it's an atmospheric rock album. They're now a 4-piece band, and they're bold, and sometimes unexpected sounds come up. The songs are all well developed, and they express themselves musically, great form. Power chords sometimes are delightful. They get into melodies, and the keyboards and the guitars work out in an engrossing way. And Corey Hansen's lead vocals are atmospheric over this music. One critic said, if you haven't been paying attention to this group, now's the time to take them in and tune into them. It's definitely an ambitious album for this year, and it unexpectedly grabbed me. Just a great album. Then my third group, but fourth album I'd like to talk about is Beechwood SPARKS. This is the first album in 20 years. for 10 years, excuse me, 10 years, and it's called Across the River of Stars. And it came out just recently. It's an alt country folk psychedelic sound to it. When I've been listening to it, it almost makes me feel like some of these tunes could fit into the Byrds album Younger Than Yesterday. And a dreamy, jangly touch with acid imagery. It's a great return for there's some good songs and great vocals. These Dolphins dance stands out with the guitar work in it. Country through a kaleidoscope. That's kind of what critics are saying about them. Falling Forever is a great song to turn to, and they've got a Gene Clark, Tom Verlaine feel on a song called Gentle Samarol. And this album's produced by Chris Robinson of Black Crowes, and he really brings out the best in this group. So if you're kind of into light psychedelic country rock, Burrito Brothers, Byrds, I would say check this group out.
All right, thank you, Fred. We're moving on.